Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this video lectures uh, on control system engineering on introduction to PID controllers part 2. So in the previous video lecture, we have seen about the what is PID, okay, and how that PID is going to be used in the control system engineering, okay. And what is that PID is basically PID is nothing but it is for proportional, integral and the derivative controllers, okay. So now we will see what this PID controller is all about in detail, okay. So in the previous video lecture, okay, so we have seen something called as PID, okay, and their types, okay. So now in today's video lecture, okay, now we will be focusing more on the uh, another type of PID control or another type of controller here, okay. So here in the yesterday's video, okay, so we have gone through what is PID, okay. So what are the various responsibilities of PID controller, okay, and then we have derived the basic equation for the transfer function, that is C of S divided by R of S, okay. Now today we'll see one by one how this different types of controllers gives you the transfer functions, okay, based on the applied input. Now again, in the very first type of controller is the PD type of controller, okay. So why it is called as a PD is or why what is this P and D is nothing but proportional plus derivative, okay. So if I only go with the derivative, okay, not including the proportional, then it becomes very difficult for you to maintain the damping ratio, okay. So therefore always there should be some kind of proportional, okay, along with the derivative part, okay. So that these things these are the things which we have seen in the previous video lecture. Today we'll go with the second type of controller, which is a PI type of controller, okay. So this PI is nothing but it is proportional plus integral, okay. So whenever the term integral comes, so obviously we will be integrating the error signal, okay. So that particular uh, so here we will see what is PI type of controller. So basically how we define this PI controller is the controller, it should be in the forward path. If you look at in figure number 7.20, so there is a control part, okay, we usually call it as a plant also, okay. So it has its own transfer function denoted by omega n square divided by s multiplied by s plus 2 neta into omega n. This is always be remaining the same, okay. This will not be changing, okay. The only part which is changing here is in the controller part is this particular block, okay. So what we have seen in the derivative part, it was different, but here it is a bit different as compared to the derivative part. Instead of derivative, we go for integral section of this particular error signal denoted by E of t. So a controller in the forward path which changes the controller output, okay, corresponding to the proportional plus integral of the error signal, okay. So this is my error signal here, okay. I should integrate that particular error signal, and along with the integral of the error signal, I should also add the proportional constant, okay. So if I take both together as the proportional plus the integral of the error, okay, you should not take only the integral of the applied input signal, you should take the integral of the error signal, okay. So such type of controllers are defined as PI controller, okay. Now the formula used to define the PI controller is output of the controller, that is C of S, is given by K, which is a constant, okay, multiplied by E of t plus Ki integration of E of t into dt, okay. So this is in terms of the time domain. Now when you go for applying the Laplace transform to this particular equation here, then we will take the Laplace, so this t become S, so K into K will remain as it is, okay. Instead of E of t we write it as E of S plus as the term ki is the constant term, so therefore we take it at the same as it is, and when we apply the integration to this error signal, so we get 1 divided by s into e of s. Okay, so that is the reason we have written as ki divided by s into e of s. Now in these two variables, in these two number here values, the value of es is constant, so take es as constant or outside the bracket, so es multiplied by k plus ki divided by s. Okay, now this becomes my factor. Okay, this becomes my one factor. So therefore the transfer function of such control system, or the transfer function of such controller, okay, this is the controller, is given by k plus ki divided by s. Okay, and hence this can be realized using this particular figure, that if you see, this is k plus, plus in the sense, the when the two blocks are in parallel we add them. Okay, so these two are added up, so therefore one is the k and the another is nothing but k plus ki divided by s, and you can see the flow of the signal or the arrow mark of this particular two blocks are applied to the summing point. So if I add these two particular blocks which are in parallel, then I will obtain this k plus ki divided by s. Okay, so this is the output of my control, this is the output of my controller. Okay, now in this particular figure, if I assume the value of k is equal to 1, so it becomes 1 plus ki divided by s. Okay, so let us substitute in the transfer function formula that g of s, this is my transfer function formula, right? So you can simply, because this is the whole equation which is applied here, here. Okay, so if I multiply this particular uh, bracket with this particular block, because these two blocks become in series after reduction, so two blocks are in series, then we will multiply. Okay, so if I multiply these two blocks in series, then I will get the complete block of g of s is equal to 1 plus ki divided by s multiplied by wn square, you can see here, whole divided by s multiplied by s plus 2 neta into omega n. Okay, so this is my g block. Further, you can take the LCM in the of the numerator, so this becomes s plus ki into omega n square divided by s, so this s will come in the denominator, so it becomes s square. Okay, so therefore the simplified equation will be ki plus s into omega multiplied by omega n square whole divided by s square multiplied by s plus 2 into neta into omega n. Okay, so this is my simplified answer of these two blocks once I multiply these two blocks. Okay, now because there is a square term here, you can see there is one square term which is in the denominator, you can see, right? So this particular square term will denote the type of the system. Okay, whether it is type 0, 1 or 2. If there is no s in the denominator, it is type 0. If there is only s, it is type 1 system, and if it is s square or any power to the or the power of s, if it is 2, then we take it as type 2 system, which we have already seen in the other previous video lectures. Okay, so by concluding that the this g of s has the s square term, then we call it as it is a type 2 system. Okay, so the overall transfer function, that is c of s divided by r of s, can be solved, okay, by using the standard transfer function formula, okay, which is nothing but transfer function is equal to g of s divided by 1 plus g of s into h of s, but here the value of h of s is equal to 1. Okay, because this is 1, the value of h of s is equal to 1. Okay, so the what is the formula for the transfer function is, it is the g of s, okay, g of s divided by 1 plus, okay, g of s multiplied by h of s, multiplied by h of s. Now what we will do here is we will substitute this g of s in this formula. So if you substitute g of s in this formula, so it becomes ki plus s into omega n square will be in the numerator divided by s square plus multiplied by s plus 2 into eta into omega n divided by 1 plus again the whole block, okay, multiplied by 1. So the denominator of this and the denominator of the g of s will get cancelled out, but this will be multiplied with this particular 1, even if you take the LCM also, right? So both are correct. So therefore it becomes s cubed. So after simplification, after substituting the values of this particular g of s in this equation, okay, so you will obtain the simplified, or the answer here is this answer. Substitute these values and you will get this particular value, okay, and that particular value will give you the order. Now you can see the order here, it becomes cube, okay, so it becomes third order, okay, because the power of s is now changed to from square to cube, okay. So in this way we have derived the whole uh, equation for the c of s divided by r of s, okay. Now if you want to increase the order, okay, again you need to apply the control input and then you have to simplify, okay. So what has happened here is, earlier the order was 2, now the order is increased by 1, okay. Then whenever the order is increased by 1, okay, then we call it as the system will relative become less stable, okay, because as you increase the number of order, then the system will become less stable, because it loses stability, because the complexity is getting increased by the increasing the order of such system, because the design will change as you increase the number of order, the number of variables, okay, the number of coefficients, because adding the coefficients, adding the order will not become your system stable. You cannot keep on keeping your system as a constant, okay. So the stability of the system get changed, okay, and again it depends on the type of order and the type of condition which you are using, okay. So therefore just from the analysis of this particular pi controller, now we can conclude here the value of kp and kv are both infinity, and the steady state error for this particular value of pi controller is 0, okay, it is 0. And the observation here, what we will see is, it has been observed that with this particular increase in the order of your system, okay, error becomes 0. You can see there is error is 0, right? Though the system is, the order of the system is increased by 1, the system is getting less stable, okay. But what about the error? Okay, increase in the order has decreased my error to 0, okay, for RAM type of inputs, okay, for RAM type of inputs, because usually we take square terms, we take it for some parabola, or for s it becomes ramp, okay, it goes on. Again it depends what type of input you are applying, okay. So just remember, increasing the order by 1 has made your error as 0 in pi controller, okay, and the system becomes more accurate in nature if you make use of some RAM type of inputs. That is nothing but the steady state of the system gets improved, okay, if the error is getting reduced, okay. Hence the pi type of controller has the following effects. So the very first effect is, it increases the order of the system, that we have seen the order is changed from 2 to 3, right? Then it increases the type of the system, okay. So your type of the system is again changed, because earlier it was 2, type 2, now it has become type 3, because the order of the system has been changed, okay. The third point is, design of ki must be proper, okay, to maintain the stability of the system. Based on the value of ki, what you apply to the controller part, the stability of the system get changed, so therefore it becomes more relatively less stable. Now the last point here is, the steady state error reduces tremendously for the same type of inputs. Even though I am applying the same type of input, okay, but your steady state is getting reduced, it is almost equal to 0, okay, because if you apply the input as an unit step signal, if you apply the parabola, or if you apply the uh, ramp input, okay, still your error is been reduced to 0, and the maintaining the system stability is also reduced. Okay, we don't, only the thing is we need to maintain the value of ki. It should be designed in such a way that the stability of the system should not vary, okay, based on the changes in the conditions. Okay, so with this topic of pi, I conclude today's topic on pi controller.